Doctors, we hear that like, oh, I don't, I'm not comfortable selling. I'm like, don't sell. I don't sell.
Right. Yeah,
You
don't
know?
sell.
Yeah.
Here's a program. Here's a plan. Let's work through it. Do what you do, and do the holistic approach, because that's where the most success is.
Welcome to the Peptides and Longevity podcast. Each week, we'll dive into groundbreaking science, innovative therapies, and the future of health and longevity. Alongside visionary physicians and experts, we'll explore how peptides, cutting-edge medicine, and lifestyle strategies can redefine the way we age. Get ready to transform your health, optimize your vitality, and unlock the secrets to a longer, healthier life. Let's get started.
Hi, this is Dr. Kent Holtorf with another episode of the Peptide Summit. This episode's for practitioners out there, not so useful for the patients and the public. But we have Don Wiencek, who is the owner and founder of True Body Wellness. They basically custom make supplements. Don, thank you so much for being on, and I think this is a great service for practitioners to kind of bring their practice to the next level.
Oh, thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Right. So a little bit about Don. He's president and owner of True Body Wellness, supplier of private label dietary supplements. He's had positions as vice president and CEO of multiple product manufacturing businesses. He has a background in engineering and a master's in business. He started True Body Wellness in 2001 with the goal of making high quality and effective dietary supplements available to customers for private labeling, allowing the doctors to go to market with confidence and building their brand and success really in this growing market. And it's becoming more and more complicated, but there is so many amazing things that are coming out, and it's just, I think the whole field has just expanded, so much. It used to just be, a couple basic supplements, but he's, leveraged education, experience in product development and manufacturing to build a network. And what I really like, we've been using him for a number of years, is that he can go to the manufacturers that have what you really need. Let's say you want a cream or you want a oral spray or a particular type of supplement, and go to this person. Well, these people are better for this style, and also help you with basically formulations. And I think the biggest disappointment starting out was, and everyone's like, well, this should have more of this. This should have more of this. Well, I can't make a capsule this big, and and then also I think, well, once you kind of get into it, the FDA regulations have gone crazy, and that's where really your help has been just tremendous, where we don't have to go searching through or getting hit for, mislabeling and things like that. Yeah. Just again, we've loved your service and to how you help doctors.
No, man, I appreciate that. What you said, actually a very big market. It's a growing market. I mean, it's like $120 billion worldwide market, just dietary supplements. US is about $45 billion, and it's growing at, pun intended, at a healthy, 6 to 8% a year. I mean, for that big of a market, they kind of grow up. There's lots of opportunity. We kind of look at it, when I talk about it, this is, opportunity for maybe doctors and healthcare providers to add more revenue to theirs. We could add more money to their income stream and profits. You can bring more value to your customer. There's no question. You can bring, extra health programs and things that work better for your patients and clients. And you can build your brand. You can add some things to your brand and their trust to you. So,
Yeah. And
those
I
are the
think,
things we see.
and yeah, the way I look at it is that it's a win-win-win, that, it's basically, instead of putting the money in the pockets of these, big supplement companies, and there's some good ones out there,
Yep.
but their stuff is expensive. I mean, they have all this overhead, and it's like all these executives that they have to pay and things like that, and so the stuff gets very expensive. So you can get really higher quality, and you can tweak these formulas. Let's say you have a favorite formula from a company, and you're like, well, I'd like to maybe just have more of this or more of that or add that. it's a great opportunity to do that. And I think too, and the patients get it cheaper, right? And you're putting the money in your pocket instead of that big, supplement company. And the big supplement companies are kind of becoming like big pharma. They're getting pretty powerful in that too. And I think you get more involved and also really see the difference that when you research supplements and find something new and you're able to make it exactly as you want it, it's much more satisfying, I think.
Yeah, you mentioned there's an issue of trust too. I mean, literally, friends of mine hesitate buying supplements because they're not sure what they're getting. They don't know what a company.
Oh,
They're not sure what's really in the capsule. Well, here's a chance to leverage your trust, your patient's trust, to say, yeah, I trust you. And so you work with the right company to bring a very quality and known product to them. They'll trust it. They'll buy it, and they'll actually probably pay more for it because now they trust your brand, they trust your advice, and they trust the product you're bringing to them.
yeah, it is such a difference. And when we've taken the time to test other people's stuff, and it's not a good track record. And
No.
people with, companies with good reputations, and we're like, there's nothing in there, or 10%, 20%, 30%.
Yep.
And we're like, that can't be. And then we check it again, and we don't ever really say anything, but we just stop using them. Or, let's say it's like with the peptide, a competitor or something. But some we've had where, they're just blowing smoke. Like, it's totally unethical. And the claims too are crazy.
Claims.
I
The
think
claims
that-
are a good point, because the way you get into trouble with the FDA and the FTC, for that matter, is the claims you put on your label and how you market it. You can get a lot of trouble with your claims. You got to be careful. You cannot claim you cure any disease at all. That's what the FDA looks at. They look at what's, as you mentioned, what's in the bottle. Because what's on that label is that actually in the bottle. If it's not, you've got problems. And what you claim. You start claiming you cure cancer, and you've got serious issues. So you do got to be very careful.
Yeah, and you never know. I mean, there's so many people, and you're tempted to make claims. Let's say there's a study showing this helps osteoporosis, but if you say it, all these other people over here are saying it, but it may be you that they come after. They tend to come
Right.
after that, smaller, mid-small, and then they're kind of like Rome, devastate one village, and then the rest of them surrender.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they don't want to go after the big guys because it's going to be a fight. But I just shake my head at the amount of claims that are out there and what people are saying. And two, what we've noticed is that, and we never check or Costco. It's like people will have melatonin from you, for say, even just a single sublingual melatonin, and people go, oh, melatonin doesn't work. We'll try this. And they're like, oh my God, it totally worked.
Yeah.
And so, some people, I can get this at Costco for, $3. Well, that's what it's worth probably, And I think that's a nice thing, that what's in it is in it, and that you also, with your knowledge, can recommend things to enhance a particular formula and work with the doctors that way.
Yeah, there's definitely certain ingredients you can add that you combine different ingredients so they have more synergy. They have better effectiveness. So those are some of the things we could bring to the table.
And that's like it. And it's funny, like the doctors in our office, it's like they kind of do the same thing. They're like, well, we need more of this in there, more of this, more of that. Like you can't have the thing that has everything in it, which is a bummer. That's the problem with supplements. They kind of take up a lot of space, and some things, or like chelated minerals, right? I mean, the problem is it makes it such a big molecule where you could triple the amount of just like magnesium oxide or whatever, and so you get twice as much absorbance from the chelated, but you can give 4 times the amount in a capsule of not chelated. So it's kind of like, weighing those things. And I think it's fun to do as well, and get into it. And when and there's so much now, I think, great research coming out on supplements, and you would think
More.
that with modern medicine, everything's meds, but the way the whole system is, we know it's all rigged, and the studies that people are more natural because they find that these meds are, in 5 years, they say, oh, shoot, yeah, it's causing cancer or whatever. There are tons of side effects. But you would think that over the years, things would become less natural, or even look at the foods, and more science-based, but it is becoming science-based, but natural.
Yeah, no question. Again, that's what speaks to the growth, especially now, obviously still coming through the COVID period. So everybody's looking better more at their overall health, immunity, how to just build up just general health. And so supplementation, that's why it's growing so fast. Because
Yeah, and I
people
guess
look
the
at the world
FDA
different.
was really mad. I guess that the immune supplements went up fivefold or something, and
Yeah.
so they weren't too happy with that. And NAC, they banned it officially because it is a drug, but so many people were getting NAC for COVID that they banned it. If something's safe and effective and cheap, they're going to ban it.
Yep.
I mean, basically. And they're coming after supplements again. Yeah, hopefully they won't. I think the backlash would be too bad with that. But they're really
It'd be
coming after
huge.
compounding pharmacies right now, especially sterile compounding and peptides and that. Again, if it works and is safe,
Yep.
it pisses big pharma off.
Well, the other part, if it works and it's safe, and pharma can't control it, that's when the FDA tries to shut it down.
Yeah, and people like FDA is the watchdog of big pharma. Give me a break. They're
Yeah.
it's
I know.
like that's big pharma pays their salary.
Yep.
Yeah.
The interesting thing, just want to say with the FDA does regulate dietary supplements, but they don't approve dietary supplements. That means that they set the rules, good manufacturers, GMP, good manufacturing practices, they set the rules, but it's self-regulated. So your manufacturer follows the rules set up, but they don't have to submit any product to the FDA. So if you ever hear a product's approved, supplement is approved by the FDA, they're lying. FDA does not approve dietary supplements. Unlike pharmaceutical drugs, they do. They have to. So it really puts the manufacturer self-regulates themselves. So that's where it puts a lot of faith and trust in the manufacturing process. Because now you always look for someone who's GMP certified, which means a third-party auditor comes out and does it. But I have personally seen, just because they're GMP certified doesn't mean they always follow the process. So that's where at least with True Body, we always work with manufacturers that not only are they GMP certified, I personally know each of them. I know the owners, the management team, and I trust them. It's trusting the people and the processes to make sure they're delivering exactly what they say they're doing.
I think that's been huge. I've learned because, and now for other things we buy, we go out there and check, but who has the time to do all those things?
Right.
Especially you find a supplement company and hey, they sound good. And it reminds me when 20 years ago, I started a beer company and we actually won we had a hangover-free beer. We had double-blind, placebo-controlled studies that showed hangover-free. And as soon as we got it out, the FDA, the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms said, nope, can't make a healthy beer. But then we did an energy beer. We won a silver medal in the World Beer Cup and a bronze in the World Beer Championships. Then we had to scale up, right? So we went to this company and they seem good. And we paid them by the case. And oh my God, it turned horrible. And then we went to a trade show and people go, everyone knows not to go with them. Everyone knows not to go with them, and we ended up in this lawsuit and blah, 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 so that's what you help these doctors avoid is that big, expensive mistake, right?
Yes, exactly.
And so that's what I found. It's what you don't know is that's where it kills you.
Until it's too late. Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. And so I'm sure you've been through it and saw all the problems and you weed out the problems. I mean, that's huge. And we found that, I mean, your pricing is just so much better than the overwhelming majority of people out there, and quality is the key, and no problems where it's like, oh, we're backlog 3 year, whatever, even with the supply chain, you've been doing great because you have a number of choices too, right?
Oh yeah, it's
because you have a
It's been a
network.
challenge. Gets more challenging all the time, especially bottles. And, one of the things you got to
Like
remember,
simple stuff. It's like we're a
simple
third world
stuff.
country.
Yep, simple stuff. But if you have 5, 6 ingredients and you're missing one, you got to wait and hold it. But so far, yeah, we have dozens of suppliers. So if one's out, we can move to the next one. And so we've been doing pretty well with deliveries. It's been challenging, but we've been holding our own. No question.
Great. And when you find it, what is a typical doctor's practice that you work with?
It's either most of it's focused on with our doctors. It's mostly focused, believe it or not, on overall health and or weight loss or weight management. Because let's face it, right? And you see statistics with COVID that 78% of the people who died were basically obese or morbidly obese. So they find the most success with weight loss or weight management. You got to be careful what you say when you're doing labeling.
See, yeah, already.
Yeah, so you got to watch it.
Do you have any conventionals, or are they more the integrative type? I guess it's kind of labeled. I guess if they use supplements that make them integrate, or do you have like standard physicians, let's say a urologist that does a prostate formula or something?
We have most of them are chiropractors, believe it or not. So the chiropractors do very well in this area. So that's our biggest base. Then we have a few doctors, and they're just general practitioners. And so we have some that focuses entirely on weight loss, and others weight loss plus overall health. So they'll buy multiple products from like superfoods. So this way, just general, drinking superfoods to get overall health, digestive enzymes for stomach health, and so it varies. But again, I'd say our dominant one really would probably be at this time is weight management products.
Gotcha. And it is, you find something that works, and I think it just, you need now to be a successful doc, you need multiple revenue streams. And, it's not about everything you can get out of the patient. It's that, if you put the time in to learn about all these things and talk about them to the patient, because they're going to benefit from them. Because, we found that unless you have them in the office, the patient, and you can write down, go take this, 99% chance they're not going to get it, or they're going to get something totally wrong.
Right.
And, they'll look around forever trying to find it and trying to save $1 or whatever it is. And they end up not getting it. And where the convenience to the patient is just boom, all in the pack when they're there in the office. I think it's just such a win-win that it's a way to go. I think even so much, I think it's much better than, there's some of the companies, they have the website where the doctor, writes for it and then gets a kind of a kickback, which really is not legal, but they're not enforcing the Stark laws. But there's some companies won't do that because officially it is not legal to do the kickback. I mean, buying them and making them yourself is fine. But I think because the doctor will have something on the website to show it's theirs, like they're making money from it. Because it's when you give it to the patient, it's totally honest. It's like, look, I'm selling this to you.
Right.
Where when you send someone to a website, it's kind of dishonest in that, hey, I'm sending you somewhere else, but I'm getting money back for it.
Well, we found though the ones our chiropractors have the best success. It's part of a plan. So just not really selling a supplement. If we stick with the weight management, there's a whole plan. There's a diet plan, there's an exercise plan, and the supplement is part of it. So where that brings value to the patients, because now they have a holistic plan, which is good for them. It works better, as more successful. It works great for the healthcare provider because it's really a plan. You charge more. You've got a whole package. You probably come back once a month, once every 2 months to see how they're doing. So it's more than just selling, here's a bottle of a supplement.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I'm the worst salesperson ever. And I won't sell anything. I don't sell. I basically prescribe what I think is the best thing for them. And I know doctors, we hear that like, oh, I don't know, I'm not comfortable selling. I'm like, don't sell. I don't sell.
Right. Yeah, don't sell.
Yeah.
here's a program, here's a plan. Let's work through it. Do what you do and do the holistic approach, because that's where the most success is. So you're selling, and you said, yeah, I'm not sure, I don't know the charges, but you could be doing $100 a month for patients now that helping them and helping your revenue stream, and they come back. Well, again, it's not just a supplement; it's a whole program.
Yeah, and instead of them going to trying to get at Costco or getting something like it, and then they're not on it, you don't know if they're taking it or not, and it's never the same. But you have kind of a 7-step plan, I think you were mentioning.
So number one would be just that. Well, first is have a goal. What are you trying to? Where is your specialty? What are you trying to do? Is it weight management? Is it heart health? Is it brain function or healthier brain? So first, have a health goal in mind.
Do you recommend for a doctor start out with one or maybe a few, or what do you?
I think just one, because we'll get into it. Because how do you, like I said, how do you sell it? How do you market it? That's very important early on. But so first, start what's your goal, and then once you have a goal, don't just think of a supplement, as we just talked about. Think of a plan, run a program. You just want to make it whole. Food is, how's your diet? How's your exercise? What other things can you do? Oh, by the way, these supplementation will help achieve all these goals. And third, you need to pick a supplement. So let's talk about, we can help you with that. You have your thoughts on what you read in terms of what dietary supplements you believe will help, or what ingredients will help support the plan. So that'd be the third step. The fourth one, probably initially, if you've never done it before, it may even be the most important, your marketing plan. How do you plan to market it? Because with supplements early on, there's a lot of them out there, right? A lot of choices. There's Costco, you says, all kinds of places. So you need to know how you're going to market this. And that's would probably be the most important first step. When you have success, now you can add things easier because now you know it's working. But I said that's a very.
I don't think it's really the marketing part is just you recommending it.
Very possibly. Yeah.
And
like I said, marketing.
For us, we don't really sell. I mean, people can buy it outside of our practice, but 99.9, it's people in our practice, and then they'll tell someone else. So like we don't need like a marketing online or anything like that. It's basically the doctor saying, hey, this is what you need, this is what you need, and that's the biggest thing, is the doctor saying it.
Yeah, and it could be too, not just that, but putting a little brochure together. Oh, by the way, here's our weight management plan, here's our heart health plan. I mean, that's marketing. That's just, it's an easy sell once you're in your office to say, here's a program. Why don't you take a look at this? We can talk about this. That's what I mean by a marketing plan. Understand how you're going to present it to your patient and client. But after that, you have to, then private label the product, because you want to protect your brand. You want it to be your brand. So, put your logo on it, put your name on it, and it just brings more credibility. You can't go to Costco and buy, Dr. Holtorf's vitamin C. It doesn't exist because it's your brand. So I'd say branding is the next step. After that, to me, obviously, just as important, pick the right manufacturer, pick the right source. Understand that.
So true.
Yeah, because like you said, there's a lot to it. So again, from our point of view, we can help you all the way from picking the ingredients, picking the formula, the label design, the manufacturing of the product, and the shipping. Then we could do it from soup to nuts, and you just worry about what you do. And again, we'll help with the formulation. And you could start too. Like I said, we have standard formulas. Maybe they're close enough. Maybe they're not exactly what you want, but start there. Prove you can do it. Once you can do it, then you can always go to the next step and customize. And,
yes. So we must drive you crazy with all our super custom fineness. It's weird ingredient, and but
so you definitely, it's been a challenge. Some of those ingredients, I don't know where the hell you found them, and then I don't know how I found them.
There is so much literature coming out on all these supplements. I mean, there's finally studies on all these things, and it's like I love it. We do our like bone restore through you, and I keep thinking of this endocrinologist who was just always all over us. And, we'll suppress people's TSH and your bones are going to just dissolve, and then they're just getting basically the DEXA scan, the bone and the bone mineral density just going up and up and up,
Yeah.
and it's like, yes. And they're like, a supplement can't do that. What medication are you on? Let me put you on Fosamax. Like, no. And, or it's like a lot of times too, they'll go, oh, that Fosamax is working or whatever. And like, I haven't taken it for 2-3 years, and they're like, well, how could that be?
I know. Well, I
Yeah.
actually have a little personal story. So one thing I struggle with, the only medication I take, and it's way reduced, is for blood pressure. But about 10 years ago, I met a PhD in nutrition, and we talked about blood pressure. So he recommended a supplement of L-arginine and citrulline and a few other things. He said, take this. So I started taking it. 6 months later, I go to the doctor, my blood pressure is way down. He goes, what are you doing? So I explained to him the supplement. The doctor had no idea what the supplement was,
No.
but he noticed that in 6 months, they actually had an effect. And the medication I take now is 1/4 of what I used to take, which is always good because, long-term impact of pharmaceuticals are really unknown. They're not good over time.
We actually had a cardiologist start ordering the same supplement when he noticed our patients that we would send to him. Their cholesterol was down, they weren't taking their meds. And he was like one of the few that said, what are they doing? Wait a minute, they're all taking the supplement. So he started bringing the supplement in. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. So
and it's nice to get an open-minded specialist, especially, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So so any hot ingredients that are coming out I guess weight loss is always huge, immunity now because of COVID.
Right. Other things for bone, you talk about bones and joints and collagen. Collagen is super hot. Collagen peptides, normally coming from bovine cows, or even fish collagen, that's hot. I just went to a supply side summit where they talked about.
A doctor has to go to that. It's like, oh my gosh.
Exactly.
It's just gigantic.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
So there's always new ingredients. But mushrooms too. Mushrooms as an overall health are
and the studies coming out on those, they're equal to meds,
Almost, yeah.
And without the side effects. But it is interesting if you go to like Supply Side West and you go to someone has, low minimums and they're like, 2 million or something. Like
yes. Yeah.
With the standard. So that's key is you got, the low minimum orders and that I think so people can get started. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned that's why we can bring a lot to the table because we can have low minimums, but we can match the manufacturer what you need. So you can know their expertise. So not only do you get the great quality, but you also get good pricing, competitive pricing, because you're matching their manufacturing expertise to what whether it's a liquid or a powder or a capsule or tablet. We can match it up to the right manufacturer.
I feel bad too because I'm kind of a loyalist guy, and we'll have our supplement reps come in and they're like, why aren't you carrying our product? Well, I got it for less than half price and more of everything in there, and they're like, okay.
If I knew that, I'd be charging you more. I'm undercharging.
Yeah. I shouldn't tell you.
Exactly.
But yeah, so some of the, these supplement companies there's ones that are good, but they're expensive, and other ones that are cheaper seem to be, that's kind of what it's worth. And I think you've kind of got the best of both worlds, I think.
Yeah, again, we try. Absolutely.
And a little hand holding, which I think is key because, you can't be an expert in everything, and it's tough, and you don't want to, especially when you first put your toe in the water, you need someone there to kind of guide you.
Especially, it's amazing how a label could be 4 inches by 6 inches, but the complexity on that label, that's the one thing of here's doing this, how hard a label can be to get it right and not make mistakes. 4 by 6, that's it. And yet can be an amazing challenge to get that label correct.
And that is something you can get nailed for and have a big headache.
Absolutely.
And so, yeah, you don't want to go do that on your own and just think, here, this is what the other labels look like. It has to be a certain font, certain size. And
absolutely. FDA has clear regulations and very, very clear regulations on how that label is not only supposed to look, like you said, the font, the organization, how the supplement facts panel got to be laid out. It's all very well controlled by the FDA.
Yep. They're making anything more difficult that they can. But yeah, you've worked so great for us for so many years and we've kind of grown with you too,
Yeah.
So we started out small and then so you work great with that and no difference when we're ordering higher quantities and it just gets better. So
I appreciate that.
yeah, you can kind of do the whole gambit, which I think is great. And we're always, of course, leaning on you for knowledge and hey, how do we improve on this? And also fillers and things like that. Labels, of course, saves a lot of money. You don't have to go to a label attorney, and all this stuff will just kill you. And
Yep.
it seems now like everything is just with medicine. I mean, overhead just is skyrocketing. So I really like the fact that you're kind of a one-stop shop and can kind of get everything done there.
That's the value we try to bring. Couldn't say it better. That's it right there.
Great. All right. I guess on that, yeah, I've worked with Don for many years. I've just found it invaluable for all our supplements and to just feel like a team. Able to, put our supplements up against anyone's, and we hear it all the time that, oh, I took this and it didn't work. Yeah. And so it's also a confidence thing, and I'm very ADD. I want to see a result, and people will switch the same thing. Like they'll come see us and say they're really sick. They've seen 10 doctors and we get them better. Then they go, oh, I'm pretty good now. I can go back to my insurance HMO doctor. Like, okay, we'll see you in 6 months.
Exactly.
And it's the same thing with the supplements that they go, oh, I found something close, at whatever CVS or online, and they come back and go, it wasn't working the same. Yeah. So I thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
Yeah.
And I thank you for your business and your great support.
Yeah, it's been great. Yeah. So thanks for the sharing the information here with the docs on the summit. And how can they find you?
It's pretty simple. It's truebodywellness.com. It's TRU with no E. Body, BODY, wellness.com.
Awesome.
That's it.
So highly recommended. And yeah, I don't think you can go wrong with we're working with Don. So it's got my highest recommendation. So thanks so much and appreciate you being on.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for the opportunity.
Great. All right.
All right.
Take care.
Okay.
Talk to you soon.
Yep.
Thanks for joining us on the Peptides and Longevity podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, share, and leave a review. It helps us reach more listeners passionate about optimizing their health. For more insights, resources, and updates, visit our website at www.holtorfmed.com. Together, let's embrace a future of health and vitality. Until next time, stay inspired and keep thriving.